Alright, let's react to this video before we move on. Ranking the best runnable Pokemon in Gen 2. I don't think I'm gonna disagree with this. Like, unless he like memes and goes like, oh, wheezing, haha. And then I'll disagree. How do people react to videos? They go like this, right? Nice. This looks garbage. Let's run with this.
We're gonna make a tier list about the best Pokemon in Gen 2 that are runnable for speedrun of a randomize them.
Okay, so just randomize or speedrun.
Like, duh.
There, that'll
Who's
work.
gonna argue, right?
Alright, Mewtwo's correct. That is number
also,
one.
Undoubtedly.
Raikou or
No
Zapdos?
contest.
Okay, he
Espeon.
goes Espeon in slot 2. Zapdos in
it's not a
3.
lot that I would consider like god tier.
Okay, he goes Raikou in
They're
4.
just fast enough and have high special attack stats, you know?
I don't really disagree with this. I don't know how much he's ordering within the tiers. Mewtwo is definitely the best.
Kadabra is actually
Put
good.
Kadabra in B.
I
That's
like Kadabra
interesting.
obviously way better, though.
I think B may be a bit
Kadabra
high
will
for
evolve in the
Kadabra.
randomized.
Yeah, this is
It's
Chris's
actually, like, be good
vid,
endgame
obviously.
too.
He wants me to
Kadabra.
react to it
For
though, because he wants to
example,
argue.
Just
Gengar is
random, most
interesting.
recent
It's
one.
A tier though.
A
Yeah.
tier. Like,
He's not gonna cover like Bulbasaur,
good.
Charmander, right? He better cut those
could,
out.
like, move this, the Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee is the
Not
most
great.
runnable.
Hitmonlee is B-ish.
Actually, Hitmonlee is quite good.
I think he's gonna have a ton in A tier. I would probably run Kadabra over
quite
Hitmonlee,
good, and then
personally.
Hitmon
Hitmonchan's
was-
garbage. If this goes above C, I'm
I'll
surprised.
put him one tier
Ooh,
lower. I actually might
I'm
move him
surprised.
even lower.
But I put Hitmon in. He would run Hitmonchan and Kadabra like at the same rate. That's shocking to me. I don't think there's any situation you run Hitmonchan over Kadabra. Okay, okay, that's what I would do.
This might be a shocker.
Venusaur is probably better than the other two
Probably
as well.
B tier. I'll put them all in there.
Yeah, I'd probably do about that. Taurus is A or
Easily
S.
A tier.
Very
One of
high
the
A.
best
Yeah.
A-tier Pokemon. Like a
Yeah,
little
Starmie's
extra
really
bonus
good too.
because available
Something
right
that's like a big deal in randomizers that he didn't really touch on as much is speed tiers. Notice how every single Pokemon, except for Pinsir Heracross, has 110 or higher speed. That's because speed tiers matter so much in rando. If you're faster than the opponent, you can always get through fights with revives. That's kind of like the theory behind it. But if you're running like a Snorlax, for example, and you run into a cross-chop gym leader, you just lose the ability to like progress on because you're slower. Mewtwo, for example, if your opponent has Mega Horn, you send out the Mewtwo, you Psychic, you die, you use a revive, you send out the Mewtwo, you Psychic, it dies, and then you move on. That's why Starmie is so good, even though you might think like, oh, it's only got, was 100 special attack, I think. But with X specials, you can always buff the special attack, and you're always gonna be pumping those anyway. The speed matters a lot because you might need to have high speed to outspeed stuff. Pretty obvious. I think he's not ordering this. There's literally no chance you run a Hitmonchan over a Flareon. I think it's literally just better in every stat, right?
Fearow. I'll put them together.
I disagree
although
with both
Fearow
of
is
those
better than
placements.
Pidgeot, but they require an amazing moveset.
You're not running a
Tier 4
Hitmonchan over a
Pidgeot.
Pidgeot, are you? I think Fearow's just straight better. And he gets stab headbutt. And he gets stab strength. And he gets stab fly. Hitmonchan, like, being his baseline is triggering me. That should be lower. Kingdra's S tier. If he puts it in A, he's wrong. I think Kingdra's top 5 Pokemon to
It's
run.
probably up here.
Wow.
Also, it's typing
Nope.
to put them
Celebi is
together.
like too many weaknesses. I put it like B. Mew's a lot better than
Mew
Celebi, I
is better
think.
than Celebi.
Yep.
Because
Dragonite's upper A. I don't think
It's just
Dragonite's
hard to find
S.
physically.
Upper to mid A.
Electrode
So,
is
like,
run-
again, what he's saying by that is he would run a Pinsir over a Dragonite, which I don't think that's the case. I strongly disagree with that.
Electrode is
Dragonite is better
garbage.
than Pinsir.
Hold on a second. I maybe I have to move all the starters down.
He's not putting Venusaur below Hitmonchan.
Maybe Charizard is a little better because
I'm
it has
so
access
confused now.
stats.
He would run a Charizard over a Suicune. They have the same special attack. They're the same offensively, but Suicune is weak to 2 types, and Charizard is a 4x weakness, is weak to like 8 types. Yeah,
Tentacruel is just special.
Tentacruel was great in Gen 1. It sucks in Gen 2.
Typhlosion, Feraligatr.
Typhlosion is by far the best
We
of
all know
these
the
3.
game trash,
Meganium's garbage.
Except it's better than
No.
Charizard because it doesn't die to a pebble.
Typhlosion's A tier, I think. You gotta move that up. You would run Kadabra
Maybe
over
maybe I might
Typhlosion.
do.
I just
When
don't
do
see
add
that
more
in any
tiers,
way.
Chad?
I would put Feraligatr right where you put Typhlosion, and then move
Would probably
Typhlosion
put
up.
it tier in the D tier.
He,
One of the better D tier.
you would run Tentacruel over Feraligatr. Hold on. They have the same special attack. Feraligator's 35 more attack. Pure Water is a way better typing than Water Poison. Feraligatr is better bulk too. I don't know. That just seems really weird to me. Garbage tier. Skarmory sucks. Not runnable though.
Maybe it is runnable. take that into account, would I ever run that Pokemon?
I mean, you put Hitmonchan in C tier, Chris. Hitmonchan is in my not runnable
Oh,
tier.
Lapras is okay.
Lapras is just slow. Probably like C. You literally cannot justify putting Lapras above Suicune. You can't put Vaporeon above Suicune. Suicune is literally better in every stat.
Because they died to Water Gun. Like,
Yeah, Goal and Rhydon are both not runnable. I agree.
Impossible.
Same with Macargo. Yep, he sees it.
Why am I even ranking Macargo? Like, who thought Macargo was runnable?
Ominate's surprisingly okay. It's just really slow. 55 speed is not good. Again, I don't see any way you can justify putting Omastar above Suicune. Magmar's about there.
Does not belong in the same tier as these three.
Okay, he moved Typhlosion up. I agray. Typhlosion's better than all those other ones. But he is not runnable.
It might surprise you. Ledian's actually trash.
I thought he was gonna actually rank it. You got me. Please put Weezing as like E tiers and meme. You have run it. He's not wrong. You can beat the game with those Pokemon. You just won't have a good time. The best part about his tier list is he takes a Venusaur as a starter over Rapidash immediately when he starts his next run. Yeah. Like I said, I think Blastoise, Suicune, Lugia, Venusaur, Miltank should all be moved up to B tier. It's like you put these at the bottom of C tier, but they're really like the bottom of B tier. Cedar's higher. You can run it. It'll evolve eventually.
Cedar is awful. Donphan 50 speed.
Donphan's better than you think. Doesn't have 120 attack. Or if you're putting Omastar as high as he does, Donphan has the same stats except physical. And you put one of them 3 tiers higher. It's also better typing. Pure Ground isn't that bad. Jump Off's pretty bad. He called it Skip Plume. He doesn't even know Pokemon, dude. Granbull is like B or C.
It's definitely way worse Ring. Hold on.
Wow.
Now you might be...
He thinks Granbull is worse than Hitmonchan. That's just so wrong. Hot Dog's okay. It's not great. B or C.
Alright, another good hot dog.
This is upper B.
We put all the hot dogs next to each other. They're actually all so similar.
He's not wrong. They're all about the same. Yeah, Entei, then Arcanine, then Houndoom.
Make Entei the best hot dog. Any objections? I pretty much run...
I think the top 10 Pokemon are the 5 he picked. Starmie, Tauros, Alakazam, Kingdra, and probably Dragonite. I think he's overranking Pinsir Heracross. I think they're a little bit lower than this. If I have the choice between an Entei and a Pinsir, I think I run the Entei. What's really interesting is, like, I might run the Venusaur before I run the Pinsir. There's some Pokemon down here that he really underranked. Now let's do our own. I'm just gonna go in order of, like, fully evolved. I think Venusaur's like B or A. Rank 898. No, we're good. These 3 are all pretty similar. I should add a tier. Don't run. Butterfree you would never run, Beedrill you never run. That's funny, all the Gen 1 starters are about the same. I'm gonna order these within the tiers at some point. Sandslash is bad, Nidoqueen's bad, Nidoking's slightly better. Oh, don't forget Raticate, thank you. It's bad. Rapidash is okay, I'll move that later. Slowbro never, Magneton never. Magneton's up here. The thing with Cloyster is it's fine for the early game, but the instant that you get to red and he leads with Thunderbolt, you literally lose the run. Cloyster does fine except for 4 fights, but those 4 fights are so bad that it's just not runnable, I think. I'm actually unironically going to put Ghastly up here and Abra, because they actually should be ranked. Hitmonlee is fine, and Hitmonchan is bad. Starmie's, I think, S tier. Our first S tier mon. Growlithe is better than Muck. Because you also have to think, in Key Item Randomizer, you can just go to Goldenrod as soon as you beat Faulkner. So if you get this Growlithe through 3 trainer battles, you can evolve it. It's not great, but it's better than running a Muck or a Marowak. Jinx is, it's just so much time lost at the Cry. Jinx is like between C and D tier, I feel like. Tauros might be S tier. I'm going to put it in S for now. Eevee's a meme. Because again, this becomes a Jolteon as soon as you get to Goldenrod. Like, if you get Eevee from Headbutt, it's totally runnable. Or no, you would never get it to Espeon. If you have a Friend Ball and you Headbutt an Eevee, that's so busted. It's like legitimately good. Articuno is really hard to rank. Zapdos is S. Moltres is quite good. Dragonite I think is S, I might move that. Mewtwo is, like, unironically, there's like a Mewtwo tier. Like, there literally is a tier of Mewtwo. Typhlosion is A tier. Propagator's B. Jump Off is really bad. It's really, really bad. That's that I honestly think is a don't run. Espeon's S tier. Not God tier, S tier. Umbreon is It's the top of don't run. That's like the cutoff. Octillery, surprisingly good. I think Suicune might barely make it into A tier. It's like top of B, lower A. I'll probably put it in B. Lugia, if the cry length was better, it would be a lot higher. Ho-Oh is definitely S tier. Alright, so that's everything that deserves a rank. So let's kind of get top down. Mewtwo, definitely. What do I think the second best Pokemon is? Would I run an Espeon over a Zapdos? It's close. I think I go Zapdos. Is there a difference between Zapdos, Raikou? I think Espeon might be in the middle. I think Tauros goes here. I'd run Kingdra over Starmie. I think I would do this. Espeon just has like slightly more issues. Shadow Ball is really scary because you have like no defense on Espeon. It's definitely better than Tauros. Tauros getting Headbutt is just really strong. Yeah, I think Tauros is the best physical attacker in the game. I think my top 10 is this, plus Alakazam. I can't justify putting Alakazam in S tier because it's really close to these other Pokemon. Actually, no, I think I would rather run Kingdra over Tauros, given I had the choice between the two of them. Is Alakazam the top of A tier? I think it is. Alakazam and Gengar are unbelievably similar. The Earthquake weakness is really scary for Gengar. I think Mew needs to be moved up a little bit. This is gonna be way lower. This is a little bit lower. Kanga's worse than Ursaring, I feel like. Ursaring's better early game, Kanga's better mid game, and then Ursaring's better late game. Because Kanga does better in the mid game because it outspeeds and one-hits everything. But Ursaring's better for the hard fights because the hard fights are early and late. There's no hard fights in mid game. Hitmonlee's lower. I'd run Hitmonlee and Dodrio about the same. They're both very fun. I think Celebi's actually worse. I'd run Power Bird before Celebi. Suicune as well. I would run Dodrio before that. Alright, let me figure out the hot dogs. I think Entei's the worst of the three. Because the thing with Arcanine is you can run it on either stat. I think you put Arcanine ahead. I think this order is pretty correct. I'm gonna move Crobat down. Let me double check Crobat. I'm not gonna lie, most of the reason I put Crobat higher up is because it's Pokemon 169. It's funny. Yeah, I need to move Crobat down. I can't justify it being an A. The thing about Crobat is it's fast, which is always a good thing. Yeah, I kind of like this A tier. I think this is about right. Aerodactyl is quite good. 105, 130 is really good. I'm gonna put Aerodactyl at the bottom of A. Alright, now it gets hard. Like, I think those tiers are easy. I unironically think Celebi's worse than Arrow. I think Suicune's worse too. Alright, this tier's gonna be hard to order. Granbull's pretty high, Venusaur's pretty high, Heracross and Pinsir are both pretty high, Electabuzz is lower. Vaporeon's way better than Flareon. Would I run Haunter over Flareon? I think I would. I wouldn't run Raichu over Haunter. I'd probably run Feraligatr over Lugia. Miltank and Giraffe are like really similar. Like Giraffe just gives you the option of running Special, which makes it better. Charizard and Moltres are like interchangeable, except Moltres just has significantly better special attack. I might just keep the birds here. I think Electabuzz I would run the lowest out of all this. You might notice a trend about electric types just being good in Rando, which is kind of a thing. Like, one weakness is big. Magmar's down here. Unironically, Magmar and Electabuzz are really similar. I'm gonna put these at the top of C. Electabuzz's cry is just so long. It, like, really hurts. I don't know what Poliwrath is doing here. This is actually really close to Feraligatr. They have, like, really similar stats. Onix is not runnable. There you go. Don't run on Onix ever. I think Scyther just goes in the 4x weakness group. I'd run all of these more than Scyther. Here's the thing with Scyther that I actually think makes it even lower. As soon as you hit level 30, you have to start canceling the evolution every single time. It's unironically a problem. You just have to let it evolve to Scizor once you hit 30, because you'd lose too much time canceling. Now, if you have an Everstone, Scyther's actually pretty good. Alright, the top of this tier is gonna be kind of hard. I think it goes Granbull, Pinsir, Heracross, then Houndoom. Dude, Venusaur might be better than Celebi. I don't think it is. I think Venusaur is like top of B. Like, Venusaur's really good. No 4x weakness. Grass Stab sucks, but you can teach it Surf. Alright, I'll do that. I think that looks about okay for B tier. Alright, we're moving on to C tier. Let's start at the bottom. What's the worst Pokemon in this tier? Seaking's definitely the worst. No, Octillery. Snorlax, I think, is down here. I don't think Snorlax is that great. Scizzor's probably higher. Scizzor's, like, unironically not that bad. It's very risky. I'd run Staryu over Poliwrath. Poliwrath should be down. This is too slow. This is like the too slow to be runnable section. But like if you want to use an X speed every fight, you can use these Pokemon. Dugong's just worse than Lapras. Polly's better than Dugong. Machamp is really slow. I'd probably put this down here. Actually, I'd run Primeape over Machamp. I think Mr. Mime's lower because it's like really frail. I'd run Xatu over Magmar, I think. How funny would this be? I actually think I would run Staryu over Electabuzz, which is like really funny to think about. I think Nidoqueen gets to be up here somewhere. It's like here-ish. I like this like ranking. I think this all makes sense. Scyther's a bit lower. It sucks for... I'm gonna put Scyther and Scizor next to each other because if you run Scyther, you have to run Scizor. Alright, I kind of like this C tier. I think is about how I'd put it. I'd run Snorlax over Seeking. I don't know. This like looks about okay. We've done all the easy tiers. It is time for D tier, and this is going to be very hard. You know, I could put another tier here. There's like a tier difference. Like, I feel like at Pidgeot, there's a bit of a gap. Yeah, I actually think there's, like, a distinction here. Some of these Pokemon would be really bad. There's definitely gonna have to be another tier. I don't know if this is correct, but I'm gonna call this the meme tier. This is the shit that you can YOLO, and it can become okay. I think the only, like, good stage 1 is Staryu. Because I honestly think most of these not fully evolved Pokemon are better than most of the stuff in E tier. These not fully evolved Pokemon become good Pokemon later. I think Abra's the best. I think Growlithe may be the second best. Snubble's the worst. You're the second worst. You're okay. Dragonair is quite good. I think Weepinbell may be better. Yeah, I think this is about right. You're this, like, down here. You're the worst. Actually, Magby's the worst. I'm gonna put Nidorina in the tier at the bottom. None of these Pokemon have bulk. I think all of this works. That's the meme / YOLO tier. And now we can look at the borderline usable, fully evolved. So nothing in this tier is good. It's probably Cloyster at the top, which is hilarious. It's so risky. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna call this the meme tier. And I'm gonna make this tier the YOLO. That's like it, right? Everything else is pretty bad. I think Rhydon can get ranked in this. Rhydon's not terrible. It's so risky. 40 speed, 130 attack. It's so risky. Golem's the same. Fuck it. They get ranked. They're at the bottom. You do not run those Pokemon. I can't do it. No. I thought about it again. I can't do that. Realistically, you can put Slowbro and Slowking here. You have to X speed every fight, but you can run them. Alright, that's it. That's the pure YOLO tier. This is the honestly bad tier. What even goes at the top of this tier? I'm not running Sandslash. The one top keeps moving up. Mischievous is actually probably at the top. Pure Ghost is just really good typing. It might actually go up a tier. I thought it was 60 special attack. I didn't know it was 85. Dude, Mischievous is like the top of D. Surprised Magneton isn't higher. It's so risky. Yeah, it is higher. I'm gonna put this here, and I'm gonna put him on top here. They're both better than Machamp. They're like really similar. I really don't think I need to order the honestly bad tier. They're just like, you just don't run anything below the pure YOLO. Actually, Electro is probably pure YOLO too. Dugtrio is probably pure YOLO. Persian's pure YOLO. Like, you can't run Raticate, you can't run Vileplume. Arbok makes it. Can't run Muck. Actually, you can run Muck. Marowak, just no. It's not even worth the effort. I have to put Weezing in for the meme. Wigglytuff, no. But Gingham actually makes it up here. It's like here. Blossom and Vileplume are like literally the same. Weezing and Muck are like literally the same. I think actually Weezing's a bit better. But now we're nitpicking. There's like no point ranking this tier. Like, this is fine. Like, what is the cutoff Pokemon? What Pokemon would you literally never run? I have run Apom before. Have I ever ran anything in the Don't Run Ever tier? I've run Sandslash. I have to rank it then. I've run Azumarill. I run Lantern. Okay, that's every Pokemon I've ever run. That's it. There's no more. Mewtwo, unironically, best Pokemon, obviously. It's just by far and away the best. S tier, I think, is ordered correctly. A tier gets a little bit harder to rank, but I think this is about correct. There's B tier. C tier has the first meme placement. I actually think Staryu is the best Pokemon in C tier. Yeah, if you're running something in D tier, you need to switch. You're not running this long term. Like, if you headbutt something in D tier, just prepare to like rush early Kanto. We get to the meme tier. I've run all of these Pokemon before. This is about the order I'd rank them, but nothing in this tier you want to run. I think Snorlax is the king of pure YOLO, actually. I think it makes a lot of sense. You really don't want to run stuff down here. This is actually better than Octillery. Like, everything D and below, like, it doesn't really matter. You're just not running anything D and below. I actually think, like, Politoed's the top of D tier, and it looks nicer. Alright, I like this list. There you go. There's my tier list. I might be overranking some stuff. I might move, like, Porygon down slightly, but I think this is about right. I like this. There's my list. It's probably pretty close to Chris's, except I rank some stuff a little bit differently. I don't know if there's anything that we, like, hugely disagreed on. I like this. That's my list. I'm gonna leave it.